Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudire Nashtaprayeshu Avadreshu Nityam Bhavati Naistiki. So yesterday we discussed some of Lord Chaitanya's pastimes, and today, as I promised, we'll also again discuss Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastimes. Although only few pastimes, I don't know how many we can discuss today in half an hour. So anyway, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to Gaya and he came back after meeting Ishwapuri and getting initiated, he came back to Navadvip. So now in Navadvip, everybody was surprised to see Lord Chaitanya because now he was not a scholar anymore. I mean, he was a scholar, but he did not play the role of a scholar because as soon as he walked in Navadvip, he was like just chanting the holy names of Krishna and begging everybody to chant the holy names of Krishna. So the devotees, when they saw Chaitanya Mahaprabhu like that, they were struck with wonder and they were very happy that finally he became a devotee and now the whole world will become devotee. And they were so jubilant, so happy. And they met at Shrivas Thakur's house and everybody was chanting and dancing. So slowly, many days passed, and then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu met the devotees, and then he started the Sankirtan movement from Srivas Thakur's house. So it was called Srivas Angan. So they would just chant and dance over there they would meet in the daytime and they would chant and dance. And one day Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, I think we just waste our time by sleeping at night. So from now on, we'll do our kirtan whole night. So since then, this tradition of whole night kirtan started, and it started by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Srivasangam. So what he used to do, devotees would do that. Only few selected devotees who were favorable to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and this congregation chanting, they would be allowed, and then the devotees would lock all the doors and the windows, close all the windows, and then they would have kirtan full night. Sometimes many people outside they would want to get in and see the dancing of chanting and dancing of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but they were not allowed. Nobody would allow them. And once one brahmachari in the daytime came to Shiva's Thakur and he begged him, Shivas, please allow me in. I want to see the chanting and dancing of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And that brahmachari, he was so austere that he would only drink milk in the whole day. He would not eat anything at all. He would just live on milk only. And he was very pure, never committed any sin. He was very humble in nature. So Shrivas Thakur, very compassionate. So he allowed this brahmachari to stay in. He said, you better hide someplace because we don't want Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to see you, but you can see his dancing and chanting and then you will get back. So that night, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu started dancing and Kirtan was going on. And after a while, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, somehow I'm not feeling that ecstasy in chanting and dancing. Is there somebody here who's not supposed to be here? Did somebody let somebody else in who's not supposed to be here? Because only in the presence of non-devotees I will not feel the ecstasy that I'm supposed to feel in this kirtan. So Srivas Thakur said, no, Mahaprabhu, there's nobody who's not qualified who's here. Yeah, I mean, this brahmachari, he came and he is very pure and he drinks only milk and he hasn't committed any sin, he's very humble and he was He wanted to see you dance, so I allowed him in. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu got very angry at He said, Shrivas, do you think only by drinking milk attain me? And Shrivas Thakur, he let the brahmachari go. But brahmachari, he was still so humble, and he, without any retaliatory mood or without any grudges, he left. And he was so humble, he was thinking, maybe I'm not qualified. That's why Mahaprabhu didn't let me in. And that's when after he left, Mahaprabhu said, it's not by austerities alone I am to be achieved. Achieved only in line with purpose. Otherwise, the austerities alone, of course, not in the case of that brahmachari, but in general, the austerities alone, they make the heart very hard. And so it becomes a bhakti grow in that hard heart. So that's why one has to make sure that the austerities we perform are pretty much synced with bhakti. Then those austerities are good. Otherwise, just austerities will not get one the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Of course, that brahmachari got the mercy of devotees of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So definitely he would get the mercy of Mahaprabhu later on, but not at that moment. So Mahaprabhu would continue with his congregational chanting only at Shiva Sangam. And then one day there was a Muslim Qazi, Muslim magistrate in that area, and he was very cruel, and he had his soldiers who were very cruel, and they were going by some area of Navadvip, and they saw in the house they heard this chanting, loud chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra, and then they got so angry because Hindus were not allowed at that time to have this kind of chanting at their homes. So Kazi got angry and he went in and he broke the mridanga there, which was being used in the kirtan, and he told everybody, if I ever hear this Hare Krishna chanting again, I'll I'll arrest you all and plunder all your riches. You all Muslims. But Kazi had, and he had stopped. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told all his followers, so tonight, this evening, we'll all walk towards the house of Kazi and make him understand what's the importance of chanting. And let make him uh, abolish that law or rule, whatever he has passed. So everybody was happy that today Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will lead the congregational chanting and we'll follow him. So everybody went to their house and they all bought items to purchase. Bought the items like like wooden rod, and the cloth, and because it was going to be in the evening and there were not street lights at that time, and so they're gonna carry these torches, burnt torches, all the way to Kazi's house. All the whole Navadvip got busy in preparing these kind of torches, and even the little boys, they were preparing their little torches. So in the evening, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came out of his house, and all the devotees were assembled there, and they were so happy, so jubilant that Mahaprabhu will lead us. And then Mahaprabhu made 4 parties of kirtan. Sings. It is said in Chaitanya Bhagavad, there were millions and millions of people in that party. Somebody can have a doubt that how can millions of people be arranged over there? There were not million people in the whole Navadvip. And here there were millions and millions of people. So Chaitanya Bhagavat Vrindavan Thakur explains actually all the demigods, 330 million demigods, they all came to take part in that chanting. And obviously all the Navadvip Vasis were there. So Mahaprabhu made 4 parties for dancing in that kirtan, singing and dancing. So the front party was led by Advaita Acharya dancing, and the devotees who were leading the kirtan. Second party, Haridas Thakur was dancer, and some other devotees were leading the kirtan. Third party, it was Shrivas Thakur, who was going to dance. And the fourth party, where Mahaprabhu said, actually, I will be there, but Nityanand Prabhu is just like my shadow. So we both will be here, and we will dance, chant, and everybody will chant, and we will proceed towards the house of Chand Kazi. So the kirtan started, the procession started, and everybody was so jubilant, seeing Advaita Acharya dance, seeing Haridas Thakur dance, seeing Shiva Thakur dance, and then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was dancing, and Nityanand Prabhu was protecting him, that if he falls down, I'll catch him, I'll protect him. And this is how the kirtan started, and they started walking towards Chand Kazi's house. And when they were passing through villages, people had kept banana trees in the front of their houses because that sign of very auspicious signal is there. And then slowly, in the evening, it was becoming dark, and everybody lighting their torches, and the whole area was flooded with torches. So many millions and millions of people holding millions of torches. And when the Kirtan party was going through the villagers would also leave their houses and join the Kirtan party. And they didn't even bother to lock their doors. And thieves thought this is a wonderful golden opportunity for us to go and steal stuff from their houses. But when they started going to their houses, because the Kirtan was going on, so loud chanting of Hare Krishna mantra, even the thieves forgot that they were thieves. They forgot to steal from anybody's house, and they also joined the Kirtan party. So it was the first outside Kirtan party that organized by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And it was loud and tumultuous, and everybody was chanting and dancing Hare Krishna. And walking like that, chanting, dancing like that, they all reached the house of Kazi. And he was like, what is this sound coming on? What is this sound? Is there some wedding ceremony going on? Some marriage party is there? So he sent his soldiers to see what is going on. So soldiers went and they came back and they told Chandkari, it is no wedding party, definitely no wedding party. It's a Nimai from Navadvip. He has brought millions and millions of people and they're chanting. And Chankasi said, but I stopped this chanting of Hindus. Go and tell them not to chant. So Muslim soldiers went. But when they saw millions of people, and some of those people, they were so angry at Chankasi. They were not chanting Hare Krishna, they were chanting, kill the Qazi, we will kill the Qazi today. And these soldiers, they went there and they saw some people are chanting like that, and they just stood on the side and they were hiding their beards and they were hiding they threw away their turban, and they pretty much looked like they were part of the crowd. And they were just also raising their hands and just saying Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, something like that, just to save them. They said if the crowd finds out we are soldiers of Kazi, they'll kill us before they kill Kazi. And somehow, slowly, the party reached Chandkazi's house. And the devotees were so angry. and at the same time there's so much of energy. They started uprooting the trees in his garden, and they started breaking the outer wall. And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to the house of Chandkazi, and Chandkazi had hid himself inside the house because he didn't want to face the crowd. And Mahaprabhu knocked at the door, and the servant opened. Now Mahaprabhu asked, "Where is the owner of the house?" Servant said, "Well, he is inside." So Mahaprabhu said, "What kind of person he is? So many guests have come, and he doesn't even have etiquettes to come out and receive the guests." So Chandkazi somehow heard Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he came out and he welcomed Mahaprabhu. And Mahaprabhu said, "I just have a few questions to ask. We want to discuss something with you." And Chandkazi said, "Well, looking at the crowd and the mood of the crowd, I thought it's better to hide myself." Well, Mahaprabhu said, "Don't worry, nobody will say anything to you." Mahaprabhu said, "I just have few questions to ask." Chandkazi said, "Yes, let's sit down." So Mahaprabhu asked him that we all drink milk of our cow. So she's like our mother, and we use bull in cultivating the land. So he is like our father. So what kind of religion is Islam, where you eat your flesh of your mother and father? You kill them and eat their flesh. And Jan Kazi, although he was a scholar of Islamic scriptures, and he explained that actually in Islam there are two kinds of paths I mentioned. One is Pravriti Marg, one is Nivritti Marg. Pravriti Marg means, well, it allows you to enjoy the material world, and afterwards you will get frustrated and go towards Allah. And Nivritti Marg means you don't get into all these materialistic ideas, and you just try to approach Allah. So he said in Pravriti Marg, this slaughter of animals and eating them flesh is allowed. In Nivriti Marg, in the mark of renunciation, there is no such injunction. But Chandkazi said, but in your Vedas, uh, it is mentioned you can do cow sacrifice and horse sacrifice. What about that? So Mahaprabhu explained to him that horse sacrifice or cow sacrifice is not, first of all, it's not for eating the flesh. And secondly, it is done by pure Brahmins who would know the scriptures, who would know the mantras. And when they chant the mantra and do the sacrifice of the animal right away either will get human body or young animal's body. And it was not meant to for people to eat flesh. So Chandgazi, while they were discussing, Chandgazi said, "Yes, I do understand our scriptures, Islamic scriptures. They don't explain everything properly, and Vedas do." So, so Mahaprabhu then somehow brought him to the question of why did he stop the congregation chanting of the holy names? So Chandkazi said, actually, I did stop, but I'll tell you in secret what happened when I broke the mridanga. Mahaprabhu said, it's okay, all my associates are my confidential associates. You can speak in front of them. Then Chandkazi said, actually, that day when I broke the mridanga and I came home and I slept at night, a very fearful personality came in my dream, and he was half man, half lion, and he was very angry, very, very angry. And he basically sat on my chest with his nails. He just poked in my chest, and he told me that this Sankirtan, this congregational chanting movement, is directly under my supervision and under my protection. If you ever try to stop this movement again, I'll come and rip your heart about, and I'll kill you. And he left in my dreams. And the Chandkazi said, when I woke up, I saw those marks of his nails on my chest. And he showed the marks of the nails to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu said that was Lord Nrsimhadev who had appeared here. And actually, the Sankirtan movement is protected by Lord Nrsimhadev. Even today. So then Chand Kazi made a proclamation that I proclaim that none of my descendants, whoever are in this area as leaders, that none of them will ever stop the Sankirtan movement in Navadvip. So Chand Kazi, of course, yeah, before that he said, oh, when he saw Nimai, and Nimai was angry, and he said, oh, Nimai, you are like my relative, because your mother and I, we are from the same village, so she's like my sister. So you are my nephew, you're like my nephew. So, and if uncle does something wrong, nephew doesn't get mad and you don't do all this. And actually, Chand Kazi in Krishna Lila, he was Kansa. So he's mama or uncle of Krishna. And here in this pastime also, he almost, I mean, because Mahaprabhu and Mahaprabhu's mother and Chand Kazi, they were from same village. So it is said that if in the same village and the same, around the same age also, so they are acting like brother and sister. So the Kansa had taken the role of Chand Kazi. Prabhu's Leela. And this Chand Kazi, his nickname was actually Champak. They buried him burial place. And afterwards, a neem tree also appeared at that place. And the champak tree and the neem tree, the trunks and the branches, they're pretty much intertwined at that location. It's the location, the place is still there. Those two trees are still there. So in fact, when we go to Mayapur, that place comes on the way to Mayapur. So devotees do take darshan because it is said that now that neem tree represents Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and champak tree represents Chand Kazi, and they are together over there. So everybody is supposed to take darshan and get blessings of Chand Kazi and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu before proceeding to Mayapur. So again, as I said, there are thousands and thousands of pastimes, and I don't have much time. I don't know where to start and where to stop. So should we stop here? What to do?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, you can continue.
Hare Krishna. Prabhuji, devotees are at work also, and
but when they are silent, you have to take it as affirmative.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
So just one little pastime.
Sorry, Prabhuji, please go ahead.
So Nityanand Prabhu also joined Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Navadvip. And of course, that is also a wonderful pastime, how he joined. And Nityanand Prabhu is Balramji, Mahaprabhu is Krishna himself, they are eternal brothers. So once Nityanand Prabhu is always maddened in sweet love of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And so he would not act normal. He was always acting as an avadhut. Avadhut means completely mad in love of Krishna. So one day Nityanand Prabhu, he told Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that that I had a dream. And in that dream, I saw that we both are sitting at your house and Shachi Mata is feeding us prasadam. And then, because at Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's house, there were deities of Krishna and Balram. And Shachi Mata had kept the plate of bhoga in front of Krishna Balram. And Nityanand Prabhu said, I went and I took that plate away. And I said, this is not your time to eat, Krishna Balram, because your time is gone. Your day and age is gone. our age, my master is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and it is our time. And Krishna and Balram, they came out, the deities, they started talking and they said, no, 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 no. Balramji was telling me that how can you take our plate away? You better give us our bhoga, our prasadam. We have to eat. We are hungry. And then there was fighting going on between four of us, and then I said, my master, my Lord is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and and your time is not there. It's a time for all us Brahmins, and you're all Yadavs and Vaishyas, so your time is gone. It's time for Brahmins. And then we were all fighting, and then you were stealing from Balramji's plate, and Balramji was stealing from my plate, and I was stealing from Krishna's plate, and the whole thing happened, and then I woke up. Prabhu said, looks like uh, Mahaprabhu said, Prabhu here for prasadam. Looks like he's hungry and we have to invite him. So Mahaprabhu told Nityananda Prabhu that, okay, come over for lunch to our house, but don't do any mischief. Nityananda, mischief? I don't do any mischief. I'm a very serious guy. I don't do anything nonsense. So they both went, and Shachimata saw them. She sat them down, and she was serving them. And then she gave a plate full of sandesh to Nityananda Prabhu. Nityananda Prabhu ate one sandesh and threw the plate away. And Shachimata had gone back to the kitchen, and she started to bring something, and she saw Nityananda Prabhu threw away the plate, and she was like, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was like, what are you doing, Nitai? Don't do this. Nitai, what did I do? I'm eating here. And Shachimata, when she came back and she saw the plate was again back and Sandesh was there, and then whatever Nityananda Prabhu had thrown, it somehow mysteriously disappeared and then appeared again, something like that. And then she saw, then again when she was serving, she saw her deities of Krishna Balaram, little Krishna, little Balaram. They were sitting down in the form of Nitai and Nimai. So these are the some of the mysterious pastimes of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu. And Shachimata would love feeding Nityananda Prabhu. And they both had lots of fun. And Nityananda Prabhu was like he would when he would start dancing in the kirtan and start chanting, and sometimes he would run out and jump in the Ganges, and then he would ride on the crocodile bag, and the devotees would be running, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would say, Nitai, you come back. And Nitai would very obediently, he would just come back, listening to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That was their love, and that was the mood of Nityananda Prabhu. Actually, it is said that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is very merciful, but Nityananda Prabhu is more merciful. Because he would give love of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and love of Krishna to even the unqualified, who had no qualification, who had no um, affinity or attraction for chanting of the holy names. He would just run after them and give them the holy name. So that's his mercy. So anyway, Pramod Mohanty Prabhu, you were saying something.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Just I was kind of Prabhuji, all these pastimes, the ones that unfortunately we could not cover because of time constraint, will you enlighten us when you will take us through Chaitanya Charitamrita later on, Prabhuji? Plus that in between if we get opportunities.
Or maybe when we go to Mayapur.
Hari Bol. These are so enchanting, Prabhuji. In fact, many of them I never knew, but they are so enchanting and captivating. Thank you so much for enlightening us, Prabhu. And Prabhuji, that kind of arouses the curiosity. So, are there plans for us to go to Mayapur together? We look forward to go then.
Well, if Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wants, we can all go. No problem.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhuji. See you all. Have a wonderful day. Hare Krishna. Jai Shri Prabhupada.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Jai
Yeah,
Shri Prabhu.
fun.
Hare
Thank you,
Krishna.
Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you.